name is Eric Scheninger. I am an associate partner with the International Center for Leadership for Education, and I'm really excited today to talk to you about engagement strategies for teaching and learning in a remote world. As we all grapple with the COVID-19 pandemic, there's a lot of uncertainty. Many schools have decided, we're going to start remote. Some have started face-to-face. Some are implementing hybrid. But on the drop of a dime, we might be going back to remote or coming out of it. The key here today is the strategies that I'm going to present are effective whether or not we are in a remote world or not. And it's really important that we have engagement at the top of our minds, because if we want to get kids to learn, if we want to lessen potential achievement gaps, we have to make sure that kids are fully vested in the learning experience. So what relationships, rigor, and relevance. When we think about relevance is the purpose of learning. If kids don't see the value, if they don't see the meaning in what they're learning, chances are they're not going to be engaged. And if they're not engaged, they might not be learning. So as we think about it, it's not just acquiring knowledge. It's easy to create a video and have kids watch it asynchronously. It's easy to have a live lecture. That's acquiring knowledge, but it's what do they do with it? Questions. But if all kids are using the same tool the same way at the same time, okay, that's not blended learning. Blended learning is where kids use technology to have control over path, pace, and place. There's a big difference. So as we think about blended learning and we think about what we want for our kids, at the International Center, we really focus on rigorous blended learning. We want to challenge kids to think. We want them to construct new knowledge, but we also want them to apply their thinking in meaningful ways. It's about aligning virtual and classroom instruction. In your case right now, it's about aligning synchronous and asynchronous learning. It's about a balance between synchronous and asynchronous, focused on the kid, adaptable, authentic. That could be the way in which kids show what they've learned. That could be assessments. That could be feedback, which we're going to end with in a minute. And developing a future-focused curriculum as well as assessments. As we think about what this looks like in a remote world, how do we make it flexible to engage kids? It's taking what we know about remote learning and creating a model that works. And it's about finding that balance between synchronous and asynchronous instruction, creating those collaborative experiences that I talked about before, but also strategically utilizing adaptive learning tools that respond to the individual strengths and needs of all kids. Utilizing pathways such as station rotation, choice boards, playlists, the flipped classroom. Those are the four best, most, digestible ways, clear-cut ways to create a blended learning experience for kids.